Do you believe President Obama is guilty of treason?
I'm leaving the criminal charges to the Department of Justice. I am not an attorney, but as I've said previously, when you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup and a treasonous conspiracy against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
Hello and welcome back, and thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and your co-host, me, Double D, and you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, and before we get into everything, I just want to please make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, and smash the notification for us. Also, if you could, watch as much of this video as possible. It is literally the free, easy way to help us going in the algorithm as much as possible. But without further ado, let's get into it. Obama. We are at Obama. We got back to Obama somehow. What is going on? What did Tulsi Gabbard find that really brought her to think that, hey, this guy needs to be brought up for treason, of all things? Which, by the way, treason is punishable by death.
It is, but
no.
Yeah, no, it is. You're right.
It really is. Just in all fairness, treason is punishable by death.
It is a very serious crime. There is no question about that. That would be a real bad black eye for America if that turns out to be true, though.
I doubt that Trump even lets Obama go to jail. He'll probably
God, no.
Even if he was found guilty, I'll guarantee Trump will pardon him. Let him go, blah, 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 all like it's supposed to be because they're presidents, and I get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a gentleman's courtesy there for sure.
Right.
I mean, if not, then that means the president would be cold-hearted. And he just doesn't come across as that kind of cold-hearted person. So I agree. I think that this could lead to a possible, conviction.
Well, Tulsi Gabbard,
how that pans out, obviously, will be up to the president.
Tulsi Gabbard would probably know more than us, honestly. So
yep, I believe so.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's see what you got to say.
Two questions, but to begin on that. The president yesterday, you've inferred that the former president helped lead a coup. Based on what you now see, do you believe President Obama is guilty of treason?
I'm leaving the criminal charges to the Department of Justice. I am not an attorney, but as I've said previously, when you look at the intent behind creating a fake manufactured intelligence document that directly contradicts multiple assessments that were created by the intelligence community, the expressed intent and what followed afterward can only be described as a years-long coup.
Well, let's be fair. If they're under the Obama administration, they're not very intelligent. They could be called the intelligence community all they want. They're not intelligent.
Well, they're deliberately unintelligent at that too. It's like they turned their heads to a lot of things that went on in the Obama administration. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, 1,000, 100%.
Blind eye, dude. It's like they were all in together with the media, with Obama. Dude, they had the perfect setup, man. And America believed this, man. America believed it.
Yeah.
And this conspiracy
it's sad.
Against the American people, our republic, and an attempt to undermine President Trump's administration.
The Senate Intelligence Committee spent several years looking into this and unanimously agreed in a bipartisan fashion, Secretary of State Rubio was a member of that committee, that there was no political interference. There was a years-long Justice Department investigation into this as well that also concluded no political interference. So help us, from a 50,000-foot level, explain, what do you now have that refutes those two?
Sure. I will encourage you, in my role as the Director of National Intelligence, my job, again, as I said when I came into this role, was to make sure that We are telling the truth to the American people, and that we are ensuring that the intelligence community is not being politicized. So I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you in the media to conduct honest journalism, and the American people to see for yourself in the documents that we've released now, close to 200 pages, that point in multiple references, multiple examples, to include comments that have been made by senior intelligence professionals, who are some still working within these agencies today, that confirm the conclusions that we have drawn, that President Obama directed an intelligence community assessment to be created to further this contrived false narrative that ultimately led to a years-long coup to try to undermine President Trump's presidency.
And it's your belief that
Boom! Right
Wow,
there.
those are
So, we shouldn't even have to talk about it. Next subject. Like, seriously, how is this allowed to be done? And how is it that people are fine with this? Right? It doesn't make any sense to me. You should be upset that your party has to cheat in order to win.
But they're not, because that doesn't matter to them, dude. That's where integrity comes in. We're talking about Democrats, and I'm not sure integrity. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, dude, they'll throw integrity out the window in favor of power and control every time. Every time. I mean, they're hit 249-year history of it.
They're literally willing to eat their own to get rid of Trump.
Dude, I guarantee you, they're throwing Slick Willie to the frickin'. They're throwing Slick Willie to the Lions, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna. They're gonna let all that come out, and for what?
So they actually asked Trump about everything with Obama, and I mean, he has a lot to say. He does. He has a lot to say about it.
When are you coming to the Mr. President, do you support the Justice Department seeking a new interview with Ghislaine Maxwell? Did you urge the Attorney General to see?
I don't know anything about it. They're going to what? Meet her?
Your Deputy Attorney General has reached out to Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney asking for a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
Do you have any concern that your Deputy Attorney General, as your former attorney, would be conducting the interview, given...
No, I have no concern. He's a very talented person. He's very smart. I didn't know that they were going to do it. I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt. The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard.
Cold.
What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up to 2020 of the election. They tried to rig the election, then they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. And I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But it's time to start after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people.
Unfortunately, you know, when you're the ones that's actually doing the wrong and you try and put it on somebody else, hey, you're gonna have to take it on the chin.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they put this man, his family, his campaign, half of the American people. They have put us through this for years. This is the final straw, dude. I mean, this coming out with Obama and that Russian dossier, and he set all that up, and all this stuff is being leaked now. Yeah, man, that was just. And then you fast forward today, and look what's going on, dude. This is all just part of. Over and over again, the witch hunt never ends.
I feel like we're watching.
It never ends.
I feel like we're watching a WWF match when I was a kid.
Yeah, except it's prolonged. This is going on for 9 years.
It's like Trump versus Obama for the past 16 years.
Since 2015.
I feel like we're watching Stone Cold and The Rock going at it each WrestleMania year after year after year after year.
Yeah, I mean, Obama should have did the right thing. He should have finished office as president, went on to do charities, and which he does do. He does humanitarian work, whatever it is he needs to build his legacy. and he just going to destroy his legacy over trying to keep Donald Trump from being president.
I mean,
I hope it was worth it to him, because I personally don't think that would be worth it.
Let's be fair. Being a Democrat, what legacy do you have?
Well, I mean, dude, he was a likable president. People liked him. His legacy would have been a lot different if he never endorsed Joe Biden.
I've met some likable assholes.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying. I'm saying he still had an opportunity to create a legacy that the history books would have been kind and favorable to. Yeah. I'm not sure that's going to happen for him now. That's all I'm saying. I think that might be blown out of the water. It might be over.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. So that's really the things you should be talking about. I know nothing about the other, but I think it's appropriate that they do go.
May I ask you about that, Mr. President? Tulsi Gabbard has submitted a criminal referral to the Department of Justice. From your perspective, who should the DOJ target as part of their investigation? What specific figures in the Obama administration?
Well, based on what I read, and I read pretty much what you read, it would be President Obama. He started it. And Biden was there with him, and Comey was there, and Clapper, the whole group was there.
The whole group. Yeah, you know what? And the whole group going to be Obama. Nothing's going to. The only thing that's going to happen to Obama is he's going to get pardoned by Donald Trump. But the rest of them, you know what? I would say let him go to jail. The rest of them, Joe Biden was the next president too. He's got to pardon him also.
Yeah. We'll see you later, Comey.
You got to pardon the presidents, and the people who did all the underling work for him are going to be the ones that take the fall, just like Ghislaine is doing for fucking Jeffrey Epstein and the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Brennan, they were all there in a room. Right here. This was the room. This is much more beautiful than it was then, but that's okay. I have nice pictures up. They came out of the vaults. They were in there for 100 years. This is much more beautiful. We have the Declaration of Independence now in the room, which wasn't here. I guess people didn't feel too good about putting it here, but I do.
Why?
But you know
Why
what?
would they not?
If you look at those papers, they have them stone cold, and it was President Obama. It wasn't lots of people all over the place. It was them too. But the leader of the gang was President Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And except for
he's coming down savage, bro.
The leader of the gang.
The leader of the gang was Obama.
He gets shielded by the press for his entire life. That's the one they look. He's guilty. It's not a question. I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. You've seen some pretty rough countries. This man has seen some pretty rough countries, but you've never seen anything like that. And we have all of the documents. And from what Tulsi told me, she's got thousands of additional documents coming. So President Obama, it was his concept, his idea, but he also got it from crooked Hillary Clinton. Crooked is a $3 bill. Hillary Clinton and her group, the Democrats, spent $12 million to Christopher Steele to write up a report that was a total fake report. Took 2 years to figure that out, but it came out that it was a total fake report. It was made up fiction. And they used that. Now, the one thing they weren't able to do was to, and probably the only thing I respect about the press in years is the press refused to write it before the election. They refused to put it in. The Steele report was a disaster. All lies, all fabrication, all admitted, and admitted fraud. She paid $12 million, and the Democrats, for that report to a wise guy named Christopher Steele. He wrote a phony report, and they wanted to get that report in before the election. And I'll tell you what, I talk about
He's
all the
right.
time, the fake news, how bad it is. But in this case, they wouldn't do it. They saw it, they read it, and they said, we don't believe it. And it was only after, substantially, like a month and a half after the election, that it got printed, and it was a big wisp. It was just like a bang of nothing, because the election had ended. If that report had gotten published by the New York Times or somebody, and I respect the Times for maybe only this, because they're crooked as you can be. They're a terrible paper, a crooked, corrupt paper. But for this one moment, they said, this is bullshit, we can't put this in. And neither could any other. Wall Street Journal's a lousy paper, very, very dishonest paper. Yeah, as you see, I'm suing them for a lot of money because they do things very badly. It's a really,
Oh, that's
it's got a
hilarious.
nice name, but it's really, in my opinion, it's a terrible paper.
Yeah.
And
I agree with them. I
Can-
think the Wall Street Journal is definitely biased. They claim to be centrist, but they're full of shit, dude.
Yeah,
They're very biased.
He's
to the
suing
left.
them for like 10 billion or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I say go for it, man.
Yeah, why not?
Dude, I mean, enough's enough. How else is you get? So you got to start fighting these people back. And you know what? This man has been fighting these people since the day he walked down that escalator.
Yep, exactly.
Since the day he walked down the escalator, he has been nothing but with his back against the wall and his fist in front of him. This man has proven to be one of the greatest. Dude, I dare to say it. An even greater leader than Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan didn't have this.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
correct.
shot at him, and he did survive a shot,
it's
but
true.
it didn't happen like this, dude. It
Crazy.
stopped with that. It's kind of stopped with that. So,
just so you know,
well, he's not.
they
Right,
didn't
right.
take the Steele report. It was the dossier. Remember the famous dossier? I called it the fake news dossier. The news wouldn't publish it. And I'm amazed. They had 2.5 months. It was finished. 2.5 months. That was supposed to be what was going to happen. And it got published a couple of months after the election. And frankly, nobody cared too much about it. But that was a big thing. No, we caught Hillary Clinton. We caught Barack Hussein Obama.
That's how he always calls him by his full name. Barack Hussein Obama.
Hussein Obama. That's how they're going to read it in the courtroom.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to read it in Congress when he's brought, because he is going to get brought before Congress. I
Yeah,
guarantee
they're
you
at least
that.
going to talk to him.
Yeah, something's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
going to be
definitely.
there's
They'll-
going to be
they're
some
gonna
kind of
talk to him.
show, and there's going to be some kind of show and parade. But
Yeah.
They're the ones, and then you have many, many people under them. Susan Rice, they're all there. The names are all there. And I guess they figured they're going to put this in classified information and nobody will ever see it again, but it doesn't work that way. And it's the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever read. So you ought to take a look at that and stop talking about nonsense, because this is big stuff. Never has a thing like this happened in the history of our country. And by the way, it morphed into the 2020 race. And the 2020 race was rigged, and it was a rigged election.
Yeah.
And because it was rigged, we have millions of people in our country.
That's right.
We had inflation. We solved the inflation problem. But millions and millions of people came into our country because of that. And people that shouldn't have been, people from gangs and from jails and from
It's true.
mental institutions, people that we don't want in our country, and people that we're getting
Very
out.
true. Very
Dangerous
true.
people. 11,888 murderers. Many of them, 50%, more than 50%, murdered more than one person. I hate to say this with such a distinguished guest, but you know, they asked me a question. I got to answer the question. No, Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was
He
right
is the
there with him, and
ringleader.
so was Sleepy
That's
Joe
right.
Biden. And so were
The
the rest of them.
Sleepy Joe.
Comey, Clapper, the
This
whole
is
group.
great. Clapper.
And they tried to
Lock
rig an
them all
election,
up, man.
and they got caught. And then they did rig the election in 2020. And then because I knew I won that election by a lot, I did it a third time, and I won in a landslide. Every swing state won the popular vote.
Yep.
But I won that all the same way in 2020. And look at the damage that was caused.
It's
Yeah,
so
he's
true.
absolutely right.
So true.
But you know what? I am so glad that he's our president now, though, because finally we got to see the Democrats for what they really are, who
Yeah.
they truly are, and their integrity is low and their dignity is even lower. So I'm glad. You know,
Now-
and now we've got the greatest president ever
Now,
because of it.
today, Carolyn Levitt saying that Trump is now saying he wants Obama to be held accountable for these treasonous acts. 1,000%.
He wants to see all those who perpetuated this fraud against our country, who betrayed our country and the Constitution, to be thoroughly investigated and held accountable.
Yeah.
What is the accountability
I agree
that you
with
would
that.
like to see if this current president is the one who brought the case to the Supreme Court, and Chief Justice Roberts made clear in his opinion that a sitting president's responsibilities in office cannot lead to prosecution, immunity. So what is it the President Trump wants regarding President Obama, given that fact? And the special counsel at the time, Durham, when that Supreme Court matter was not in effect, could have charged anyone and did not. So on those 2 points, how do you respond?
Look, the president has made it clear that he wanted these documents to be declassified. He wanted the American people to see the truth, and now he wants those who perpetuated these lies and this scandal to be held accountable. As for what accountability looks like, as the director said, it's in the Department of Justice's hands, and we trust them to move this ball forward.
Exactly. And what's wrong with that? What's
Yeah.
wrong with holding people accountable for their actions?
Yeah, even if it's just, I mean, first of all, nobody's going to jail. It's just a career ender. That's all. They're going to have some careers ended, and that's just the way it is, you know?
Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
I mean, dude, the truth be told, they would have put him in jail if they could have, though. And you know, Donald Trump was just better at it than they are. But he was able to, you know, keep.
And they're the ones actually doing wrong.
He was the people's president, and the people spoke.
Yeah.
And you know, and Donald Trump is, you know, is a great leader because of it. And right now, I think he does need to hold some of those people accountable, whether or not they do prison time or whatever.
1,000%.
I don't think.
At least let the people know that they did wrong. That they're not allowed to be doing that.
Ruin their careers. Shut them. You know, like, yeah, just shun them. Like, you know, make them go away once and for all. Like, just go into the night with your retirement, STFU, and move the fuck on. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
And that's what Obama should have done after he was done in 2016. See, she kept saying the sitting president, but in 2017, the sitting president was Donald Trump, not Barack Obama.
It's
but
true.
Barack Obama was still part of the cover-up in 2017. He wasn't a sitting president. He's not immune from anything.
Right. It's true.
Capitol now with the House of
He's immune
Representatives
up to
is starting
that.
this early
it's true.
today, moved by Republican leaders to avoid a vote on the Epstein files.
Yeah, as the Department of Justice plans to interview Epstein's accomplice, President Trump is turning his focus to former President Obama, generating a rare response from his office. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has more from New York.
Well, the question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is sending lawmakers home early for summer break rather than dealing with a bipartisan push to force a vote on releasing more files on Jeffrey Epstein.
What we refuse to do is participate in another one of the Democrats' political games.
But Republicans like Kentucky's Thomas Massey are...
So wait, I'm confused, right? So did the Democrats have to vote on this at all, or just the Republicans?
No, the Democrats have to vote on it too. I'm pretty
What
sure
did they
they all
vote?
have to vote.
What did they vote?
I don't know. It's not really. I mean, actually, I'm. You know what? I'm not sure on that, Bird. Maybe this was a Republican committee thing where they got together within the Republican and trying to figure out if they were going to proceed with it.
Okay.
So it might have just been a Republican thing, actually.
Gotcha.
Because he was talking about the holdout with, what did he say it was? Matt? What was that? Tom Massey? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was like holding out, so maybe he's part of that investigation committee.
Okay.
Also leading the charge.
It would behoove the Speaker to bring this to the floor. Just vote this out. Give it to the Senate and let them do their thing.
It's an issue that's roiled the Trump administration for weeks. His Deputy Attorney General says he wants to interview Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, currently serving 20 years for conspiring to sexually abuse minors. It's a plan the president says he wasn't aware of.
Yeah, I don't know about it, but I think it's something that sounds appropriate to do, yeah.
President Trump then pivoted to former President Barack Obama over an intelligence report concerning his administration's investigation into allegations Russia tried to influence the 2016 election.
He's guilty. This was treason. This was
Okay, we've seen this. We know what's going on with that.
So here's the bottom line: is both these stories are intertwined, dude.
Yeah, and that's good because the way they pivoted from that to that, we're going to pivot from Obama to Epstein.
Yeah, and here in this CNN video, it's going to show you the total. I can't believe the audacity of CNN to try to put this out like this is
an actual story or something.
Yeah, this is all stuff we already knew being regurgitated. Let's go ahead and let that clip roll, Bird.
Out front tonight, the breaking news, a CNN exclusive tonight out front.
Breaking.
K-File has unearthed photos of Jeffrey Epstein that we've never seen, and they shed new light on his relationship with President Trump. The revelations come as Trump is under fire from his own base for his Justice Department's handling of the so-called Epstein files. Trump has tried, of course, to distance himself from Epstein every which way. But one of the photos that K-File found confirms that Epstein actually attended Donald Trump's wedding to Marla Maples. And this is the proof. Again, this has never been published before. So this is a new image. You haven't seen it out there on X or anything like that. This is the proof that Epstein attended Trump's wedding at the Plaza Hotel in New York. And in the photo, what you see is Epstein entering the Plaza Hotel. The wedding date
Bird,
of this
time
is
out for a second.
Listen,
have you ever heard of Donald Trump denying that Epstein was at his wedding?
No, I've never. They were cordial, from what I understood.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this proves that's what I'm saying, dude. They're acting like this is proving something. And the only thing that it's proven is that the dude was at the wedding.
Where did this guy get that from?
I mean, we all knew he was there anyway. I mean, President Trump has said it over and over again. The man attended my wedding. He said that. Like, I mean, it's not like
exactly. You're absolutely correct. Yes,
dude. CNN's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
September 20th, 1993, in the center of their friendship, which of course continued. And for comparison, we'll show you on the right a photo of Trump and Marla Maples at the same location under the entryway arch.
At the wedding.
Andrew Kaczynski of K-File is here with the new images of Trump and Epstein. And Andrew,
this guy.
I didn't see Trump and Epstein in the same picture right there at all.
No, not at all, dude. So there is a picture that they're going to show of the three of them together.
Okay.
Trump's got
shared
his two
one of
kids
them
on his
there.
lap.
I got
you. So let's start with the one at Trump's wedding. I mean, this is a significant development.
Ooh, significant.
Well, yeah, it is. Trump's wedding to Marla Maples in 1993 was dubbed the wedding of the century by the media at the time. And although we know that Trump and Epstein were friends during this period, this is really the first time that it's actually been reported that Trump invited Epstein to his wedding. This is, we should note, more than a decade before those first allegations of sex trafficking against Epstein. But as you know, Trump's relationship with Epstein has been under the microscope recently. Now, besides that one photo of Epstein entering the reception at the Plaza Hotel, we can also see him in the background of another picture. That's Howard Stern on the far right, along with Robin Leach from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And Epstein is behind them at the wedding, almost seeming to be photo bombing them. We also found.
Okay.
So what does that prove? That Howard Stern really is a pervert, like he made himself out to be on his show for all those years?
I'm confused because he hated Trump.
Oh well, he not back then. Back then he was a Trump. Yeah,
back then.
This is 1993, brother. Yeah, he was all friends with Trump.
I got you.
Yeah, dude, this is all the hypocrisy over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So a photo bomb by Epstein, that proves what?
Yeah.
Still, they don't have, hey, Prince, what's his name? Prince Andrew, they had a picture of him with the girl. They don't got any pictures of Donald Trump with some teenage girl yet. So,
yeah.
You know, it's just I'm just saying. It is what it is. They don't have that.
Yeah,
so
we haven't seen it yet.
From just a few months earlier, Donald Trump with two of his children talking to Jeffrey Epstein. That's at the opening of the Harley Davidson Cafe in New York in October 1993. You can see Ivana there. She would have been just about to turn 12 years old in that photo.
Yeah, you can see Ivanka right there between Trump and Epstein. All right.
I don't understand the correlation right here. They don't even seem to be being buddy right here.
Don't even look like Donald Trump gives a shit that Epstein is there, dude.
And did they say that this was an opening of a restaurant?
Yeah, it was the opening of a restaurant. Yes.
Well, there you
They
go.
said that-
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, dude, it's like,
Show me some.
we all knew.
Show me some
him.
private pictures of Donald Trump on the island, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see the picture with a teenage girl like Prince Andrew.
Right.
Prince Andrew's right there, cold-blooded, dude. Fucking Epstein and Ghislaine. There's cold-blooded pictures of him right there with the girl. The one who just whacked herself or died or whatever recently.
Crazy.
I think she died or whatever. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's like, what does this prove?
Nothing. Proves nothing.
These are
absolutely nothing.
never before seen photos, Andrew. I know you also found some video of Trump and Epstein that was from later that of them talking that has also never surfaced before.
Wow. They were talking.
Well, that's right. This is from 6 years later in 1999. This video has never been seen before in this context. It shows Trump talking to Jeffrey Epstein just before models hit the runway at the Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York in 1999.
Yeah.
You know, the only other video we've seen of the two men was 7 years before this. Trump is at the show with Melania, who is, of course, now First Lady, seated a few feet away from Epstein. You can see them chatting during the show as well. Allegations that Epstein.
Okay, so they're at a runway model show with girls that are of age, and Trump's probably saying, "Oh, she's pretty hot. Oh, she's pretty hot." Or maybe they're not even talking about that.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about the stock market for all we know, or the
we don't know what
sales.
they're talking about. But regardless, these are all women of age.
Yeah, this is a fashion show. So what? Jeffrey Epstein liked going to fashion shows. A lot of billionaires go to fashion shows. It's not unheard of. Dude, again, CNN, the Commie News Network, man. This is the only reason we're showing this is so we can prove to our audience how corrupt and dysfunctional CNN is still as a network. Isn't that unbelievable?
Sexually abused underage girls didn't surface until 2005, years after this video was shot.
Right, but this, of course, establishes them together, and obviously very friendly in 1999.
She's got them cold.
Andrew, when you get all this, and all of this is, I just want to emphasize, right, has not been seen before. So you actually called President Trump. You called him directly to ask him about this.
Yeah, we were not on the phone very long. I think our call was about 30 seconds or so. But when I asked him about the wedding photo, he said, he sort of paused for a second and then said, "You've got to be kidding me," before calling CNN fake news and then hanging up on me. Now, in a statement to CNN, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung said this. He said, "These are nothing more than out of context frame grabs of innocuous videos and pictures of widely attended events to disgustingly infer something nefarious. The fact is that the president kicked him out of his club for being a quote
That's
creep."
right. Yes, he
All right,
did.
well, it is incredible reporting, and it is important in this context as the country wants, answers on everything to do with Epstein. Andrew, thank you so much for all of that breaking news.
She looks really disappointed that it really wasn't anything bad, doesn't she?
A really big nothing burger. So
a big old, we got nothing on this with mayo and cheese.
So we're going to end it with this. They actually finally got a hold of Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's going to testify. She's going to have a testimony.
For answers in the Jeffrey Epstein case, Republican House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer formally issuing a subpoena to Ghislaine Maxwell for a deposition to take place at a federal prison in Florida on August 11th. Comer, in a statement today, saying the facts and circumstances surrounding Maxwell and Epstein's cases have received immense public interest and scrutiny. The news coming just a short time after we learned a federal judge in Florida denying one of 3 requests from the Justice Department to unseal grand jury records tied to the Jeffrey Epstein case. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest from our D.C. bureau.
A federal judge in Florida today denying the Department of Justice's request to unseal grand jury records tied to Jeffrey Epstein. The request is one of 3 made by the DOJ. Yesterday, the judge overseeing the request in New York says he plans to rule expeditiously.
I understand there are 2 other requests from the Department of Justice that are ongoing, but I'll let this president speak to whether he wants to see an appeal.
It comes as Republican Senator Tom Tillis warns if the Epstein files are not released, this story could last through the midterms next year, when Republicans will be in a bitter battle to keep the majority in the House and Senate.
He's right. He is right.
If anybody thinks that this is
he's actually being honest, and they need to just come out with this stuff and let it be public knowledge and deal with it from there.
Well, if she testifies, she's going to give names.
Yeah.
So she's going to give names, and maybe Trump is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to find out.
We'll find out.
I don't think it's going to be though. I think it's going to be a huge roast of Democrats and prominent Democrats.
Hey, guess what, Democrats? If Trump does go to jail, let's say, you're stuck with J.D. Vance for the next 3.5 years. So have fun.
That's right. And when you know what, being from Ohio, we love JD.
Yep.
We're voting for him in 2028 regardless. So
yep.
It is what it is.
Left the day early or something. This got to be like those zombies in The Walking Dead. Every time you think you've killed it, another one's just going to come running out of the closet after you.
As Republican Congressman
He's
James
right
Comer
about
today
that, though.
formally subpoenas Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator, and the Department of Justice says is planning to meet with her. House Speaker Mike Johnson today questioning Maxwell's credibility.
Could she be counted on to tell the truth? Is she a credible witness?
That's
Maxwell's
true.
lawyer yesterday telling ABC News.
That is true because
honestly.
that is
She's
true because
probably
she
not
was
a
part of the
credible witness.
problem. So who knows how credible she'll be?
I think it's going to be, she's going to give up some people and give them a little bit of what they want. She's going to get her time knocked down to 10 years instead of 20.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to move on happily ever after.
Yep.
Donald Trump's president. So unless they got pictures and actual proof, I don't believe her hearsay will be enough to remove him from office. And I don't think her hearsay will be enough to get anybody in a ton of trouble.
True.
But I do think it's going to ruin some careers.
True.
Ghislaine will always
That's my
testify
personal
truthfully.
opinion.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries accusing Republicans of hiding information.
And in the context of this Jeffrey Epstein scandal and their refusal to share information to the American people, despite promising to do so, one must ponder the question, what are they hiding from the American people?
As Congressman Comer gets ready to
Careful
subpoena
what you
Ghislaine
wish
Maxwell,
for,
he says
Hakeem.
she will
Yep.
likely be interviewed
Careful
by the
what you
House
wish for.
Oversight Committee in prison, not on Capitol Hill.
Be very careful what you wish for because
Yeah,
it might
that's
get
right.
back to bite you in the ass.
Yep, I have it. Like I said, dude, I really believe she's gonna ruin. She's gonna end a lot of careers on this deposition.
Yep.
to
So
the
let's
Congress.
just have a wait and see attitude about everything. See where it goes. We'll see where we're at in 6 months from now. And hey, it could be great, could be worse. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
But on that note, we're going to end it. I really appreciate you guys all stopping by and hanging out. I just want to thank God, thank Double D, thank my family, and thank you guys most of all.
And as always, thank you, Bird, for putting this together for us every week, as you do. Thanks to our audience for sticking around and checking us out till the end. And most importantly, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And with all that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.